Today, we are going to crack open the secrets of wealth, and we're going straight to the source, Morgan Housel, the author of the incredible bestseller, The Psychology of Money. We're going to distill his most powerful insights into an explainer that you can start using like right now. So, you ready to change your relationship with money for good? Let's get into it.
Okay, first things first. What's the one thing that really holds most people back financially? I mean, is it some kind of secret investment strategy? Do you need a fancy degree? Is it something only the super rich are clued into? Well, Housel says, nope, it's none of that. The real answer is actually way simpler, and the good news is it's something you have complete control over. It has nothing to do with how smart you are, it's all about how you act. It comes down to your behavior and your mindset around money. And that leads us to this really powerful idea. Getting good with money isn't some innate talent. It's a skill. And just like any other skill, it's something you can absolutely master no matter where you're starting from today. I mean, think about this for a second. Finance is this really weird field where someone with a top-tier degree, like a Harvard MBA, can still go totally broke. But at the same time, an ordinary person with zero formal training, but with the right behaviors, like patience, can become incredibly successful. It's a wild paradox when you think about it.
So what are these magical behaviors? Well, they're not some complex algorithm. Housel basically calls it the kindergarten list. It's stuff we all know. Be patient. Keep your expectations realistic. Stop comparing yourself to everyone else. Live just a little bit below your means. And save some money. That's it. Seriously, that is the foundation of financial success.
Now that point about expectations, that is a huge one. In fact, it's probably one of the biggest psychological traps that we all fall into when it comes to money and happiness.
Housel shares this brilliant little formula. Happiness equals your reality minus your expectations. So if your reality goes up, but your expectations go up even faster, you're going to feel worse, not better. That growing gap between what you have and what you feel you should have, well, that's where financial misery is born. And let's be real, this is so much harder today than it was for our parents. You know, back then you compared yourself to your neighbor, maybe a coworker. Today, you're comparing yourself to a perfectly polished algorithm on Instagram or TikTok that is literally designed to show you someone who looks richer, happier, and more successful than you are.
And this gets to the real challenge. The hardest financial skill isn't picking the winning stock. It's getting the goalpost to stop moving. You know, it's learning to say, this is enough. Because if every time you take one step forward, your ambition leaps 2 steps ahead, you're always going to feel like you're losing.
So, if just chasing more is a trap, what should we actually be aiming for? Well, this is where we have to totally redefine our goal. We need to shift our focus from being rich to being wealthy. They are not the same thing.
Okay, first, let's talk about being rich. Being rich is current income. It's having the cash to buy things. It's very visible, right? It's the fancy car, the huge house, the designer clothes. It's what you spend. But being wealthy? That is a totally different game. Wealth is the money you don't spend. It's hidden. It's the savings and investments in the bank that buy you something way more valuable than a nice car. They buy you independence. They buy you the freedom to wake up in the morning and say, I can do whatever I want with my day today. Just look at the story of the Vanderbilt family. For a while there, they were the richest people on the entire planet. But if you read their biographies, you find out they were almost all completely miserable. Why? Because they were rich, sure, but they had no real wealth. Their lives were controlled by other people. They had absolutely no independence. Okay, so if buying more and more stuff doesn't actually lead to wealth or happiness, why do we do it? Why are we so drawn to spending? Let's dive into the psychology of it. According to Housel, pretty much every dollar you spend falls into one of 2 buckets. You're either buying something for its utility, meaning it genuinely makes your life better or easier, or you're buying it for status, to signal something to other people. And he tells this fantastic story from when he used to work as a valet at a really fancy 5-star hotel. Every day he'd see these incredible cars pull up, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, you name it. But then he had this huge realization. He noticed that he never, not once, looked at the person driving the Ferrari and thought, wow, that guy's so cool. Instead, he looked at the car and daydreamed about how cool he would look if he was the one driving it. He was using their stuff as a prop for his own imagination. And here is the simple, kind of mind-blowing truth he landed on. Nobody is thinking about you as much as you are.
We buy all this stuff to get respect from people who are way too busy thinking about what we think of them to even notice. And once you really truly get that, your desire to spend money on status just kind of melts away.
Okay, so we've covered all these big psychological ideas. That's great. But what can you actually do about it? How do we turn this into a practical plan to take back control of our financial lives?
Well, Housel lays out a really simple 3-step process. First, just build awareness. Check your bank account every single day. It takes 10 seconds. Second, reframe saving as a mandatory expense, just like your rent or mortgage. It is not optional. And third, automate it. Take your own flawed, emotional human brain out of the equation.
And if you need a place to start, just use the 10% rule. It doesn't matter what money comes in, your paycheck, a gift from your grandma, tips you made, just immediately save 10% of it. This builds the habit, which is honestly way more important than the dollar amount when you're starting out.
And this right here is the ultimate mindset shift you need to make. Saving isn't about depriving yourself. It's not delaying gratification. Every single dollar you save is a piece of your future that you now own. You are making a purchase. You're spending that dollar today to buy yourself independence, control, and freedom tomorrow.
So I'll leave you with this final question to chew on. What kind of life would you actually live if nobody was watching? If you were on a deserted island and there was no one around to impress, what kind of car would you drive? What kind of house would you want? Answering that question honestly is the first step toward building a life that is truly and deeply wealthy.